Okay, so you're going to need the same file open as you did for your graphic symbols, and you already have one layer called graphic, which hopefully you locked so that you don't accidentally do anything to it. We're going to create a new layer here, and this layer we're going to call movie clip, and that's where we're going to create our movie clip symbol. So there's two things that you can do. You remember how we created this sun and we selected everything and we did modify convert to symbol. Well, you can do that. You can draw all that, or you can automatically go to insert new symbol, and we're going to make a symbol of a movie clip. So I'm going to call it MC, and it's also going to be a sun. So it's MC underscore sun. Change the type to movie clip and click OK. Now, what that does, as you can see here, we have left scene 1, which is our main timeline, and we are now inside a movie clip. And we can then begin drawing or creating our movie clip in here. Now, the reason that we want to do a movie clip sometimes is because we want to be able to create an animation within another one. Okay, so this is how you can nest an animation. So if you think about it, if you see a cartoon where your character is walking across the stage or the screen, you typically have a nested movie clip that would have a walk cycle, how their legs move. You might have another one for facial expressions, and then you have those are then put onto the main timeline where you actually have it moving from left to right or right to left, whatever. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. So we already made a graphic called sun. I'm going to drag that and I'm going to place it here in the center of my stage here of my movie clip. And again, with this, because it's already a graphic symbol, we don't have to convert it to one. Okay, because remember, in order to put a motion tween on something, it needs to be a symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and create a motion tween. And by default, Animate makes it last 1 second, which is how long, 24 frames, which is 1 second based on what we set it as. If I want it to go a little bit farther, I can, let's say I want it to last for 2 seconds before it loops. I can go out there to frame 48 and I'm going to do an F5. An F5 simply extends the amount of time that it lasts. Okay, it doesn't put in another keyframe. So make sure that you understand the difference. Now, in my properties, notice that my playhead, my cursor, is selected somewhere in this motion tween. And when I do, I can look at my properties and I can see different options here that Animate has for me. And one of them is rotate. So I can rotate my sun 1 time. I can choose whether I want it to go clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm just going to go ahead and say clockwise this time. And now if I hit enter, notice that my sun is rotating. So it rotates 1 full cycle in 2 seconds time. And because we have a start point and an end point, it automatically put in a keyframe there. Okay? Now, in order to get out of the movie clip, I click up here and go back to scene 1. Now, there's nothing yet on our stage as far as the movie clip goes, because remember, we created a new symbol. We didn't modify it. So now on this movie clip layer, I can drag in MC Sun, that's my movie clip, and there it is. Now, if I hit enter now, absolutely nothing happens because there is only 1 keyframe, only 1 frame amount of time on either of these layers. So let's say that I want it to last 2 seconds so that I can actually see the sun rotate and do something else with it. I'm going to go ahead And I'm going to do this to both layers, by the way, so that they both last the same amount of time. I'm going to come out here to frame 48, and I am going to hit F5 so that I can insert a frame. Now, though, if I hit enter, you still see nothing happening. Okay, and the reason is because the animation at this point is inside on a different timeline. If I did Control Test, I can see the rotate here, but I don't see it here because there is no motion tween, no animation on this timeline. Okay, so don't be alarmed when you don't see it. Now, what I do want, though, is I don't want this to rotate in one spot. I want it to rotate across the stage. So I am going to create a motion tween. Okay, you can see it has the blue outline. And it starts over here. Actually, what I might want to do is move my playhead back to 1. I'm going to go ahead and allow my sun to start off the stage. And over here in the last one, I want it to move halfway off the stage there. Okay, so now if I hit enter, I can see it move across. It's moving kind of fast, but that's okay for this. If I do a control test, I see both animations. I see the twirl or the rotate and that it moves across. Now, you might say, well, hey, I can make my graphic move across, and you're right, you can. So if I move back to frame 1 and move my graphic symbol, I'm going to say, let's make this one just rise. I'll move it down halfway off the stage. I'll put a motion tween on it. Okay, and so I see that it has a blue background also. I can then move my playhead up here, and I can raise it up. Now, that one goes just straight up, even if I do a control test, because this was just the graphic. Okay, this one had the movie clip, so it has the rotation nested inside of it. Now, there's other things that you can do with your symbols. You can make them grow and shrink to make them appear that they are getting closer or further away. You can change the color. So if you wanted your sun to start off a light yellow like sunrise and then finish with a darker orange like sunset, that's fine too. But that is how you nest your movie clip. If you needed to edit, you could double click. You go inside and see your MC Sun, your movie clip. Here is that. Okay. And obviously you click back here to go back to scene 1. So I'm going to hit Control S to save again. And you can stop and move on to the next one, which is going to be to create your button symbol.